Hello, so today's subject is body brushing. There's quite a bit of buzz about body brushing nowadays. I wanted to talk about it more from a professional standpoint and why we use it in the spa community and the benefits that it brings to our clients. A little bit of history. Are all brushes equal? No. One of the things that we probably need to look at is it a natural bristle brush? It's much better to use natural fibres on your skin rather than synthetic fibres. And you can vary that. It can come in stages. It can come from a body brush that's not too firm to one that is actually extremely firm. And those varying degrees really come in with the level of body brushing. So start with a softer one and move to a more intense body brushing experience. So it's called dry skin brushing. It's actually a protocol that belongs in the hydrotherapy training. Hydrotherapy training is a part of natural therapies, comes out of naturopathic medicine or the original spa medicine. We can probably trace aspects of this back to the ancient Romans. On a personal level, we can trace it back to when I was a teenager grooming horses, and I learnt the essentials of daily grooming to bring condition not just to the horse's skin but to the horse's liveliness. Strangely enough, body brushing used on the human body doesn't vary too much. The reasons that we use it is primarily to stimulate the circulation, to ensure that the skin is functioning efficiently, and the skin needs to function to remove specific acids from the body. Citric acid is removed via the skin, other acids are removed through the skin too. So primarily we need a good functioning skin. What people don't talk about the skin is it's our first layer of defense. By keeping a healthy skin, we actually boost our immune system. So pH balance of the skin is helped always by daily routines of bathing, brushing and tending to our skin. Not just for beauty. Yes, it produces a beautiful skin, but most importantly, that health is from the inside out. Should I say that beauty is from the inside out? So I'm going to work with my model, Christy, today, and we're going to actually start this from the top down as opposed to the bottom up. Body brushing is about moving the circulating fluids in the tissues. And I'm specifically interested in the lymphatic fluid. The reason I'm specifically interested in the lymphatic fluid is that the lymphatic fluid is responsible for removing all metabolic wastes from our tissues and becomes another part of our immune system. So I want to work to actually stimulate the lymphatic system. I'll actually demonstrate two methods of body brushing to you. One works more directly on the peripheral blood circulation. This one specifically on the lymphatic system that I'm going into now. The lymphatic system is a one-way system. starts from the superficial tissues, collecting fluids and moving them towards the collection centre, which is gathered here. We're going to start with actually just opening the neck a little bit, because you have to think of the body as a bathtub. The bathtub can't drain if the plug's still in, so we always want to make sure that the drain is open. And the junction, the end of the lymphatic system, is the terminus before it enters into the heart rejoining the blood. From the neck, now it's open, I can go into the arms. The technique is actually very similar to grooming horses. So if you've groomed horses, you know exactly how to do this. If you haven't, it's actually done with a flick of the wrist. It's a fairly short, vigorous stroke. And you're directing it primarily to the collection centres. So we have a major collection centre of lymph vessels under the arm. These are known as the axillary lymph vessels. What's beautiful about this technique of body brushing is that you actually see the skin contouring as we work. You'll see it refining. And the muscles become more defined. It's a stimulating technique. So, as I started to say, lots of buzz about body brushing. I think what people don't really understand about the skin is that it's actually our messenger. The skin interprets everything in the external environment and conveys messages right through the body, right through the nervous system to the control centre in the hypothalamus. It's the biggest sense of communication. So I should just point out collection centres. First, the drain. Secondly, the axillary lymphatic centre here, lymphatic nodes. We have nodes in the cubital region. We have lymphatic collectors again from the periphery of the legs in the inguinal lymph nodes here. So the skin of the torso is draining to the axillary lymph nodes or to the inguinal lymph nodes. The skin of the legs is also draining to the inguinal lymph nodes. Our direction is always in conjunction with lymph nodes. That's when you're using this technique. So if we take the torso, always need to support the client here because the skin of the abdomen is more sensitive. So we're going to move the skin to the lateral aspect of the body so that it will drain upwards to the axillary lymph nodes. Here we're going to move it to the lateral aspect of the body and down so it will drain down to the axillary lymph nodes. Just takes a few minutes. While I haven't shown the breast, I recommend that my clients always work over the breast tissue. Like the rest of the torso, the skin over the breast drains to the axillary lymph nodes. I think the best illustration I can use is the story of when a cat gives birth to her kittens. And the first thing the cat does is lick away the embroial sac. She licks away the embroial sac because she's literally licking life into her kittens. She is stimulating the skin so that the organs underlying receive these messages and come into action, and life is taken up by the kitten. Without that action, the kittens would die. They wouldn't be able to digest their food, they wouldn't be able to breathe, they would not begin living. It's that stimulus to the peripheral nervous system that excites the whole body. I encourage daily body brushing. It's specifically good for anybody who has fluid retention in their tissues. And more than anything, it's that stimulation to this peripheral nervous system which affects your underlying organs. Your bonus is literally beautiful skin and a feeling of vitality.